Well, lads, have you ever wanted to experience the joys of committing crimes right from your own living room? If so, do I have the game for you. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Finally, you can discover what it's like to be a wanted criminal with next to no chance of being arrested. Personally, when I want to know what that's like, I just evade taxes. After all, it is the funniest crime. But if that's a little too hardcore for you, San Andreas is the next best thing. I don't quite know how to describe the gameplay. I mean, it's fucking GTA. Just do whatever the hell you want, no one cares. If you want to play through the story, do it. If you want to stop and blow everything up, do it. If you want to drive around the city and follow every traffic law, just fucking do it. Be honest. Every single one of you watching has gotten bored in a GTA game and tried to follow the law. Of course you eventually gave up and ran over a crowd of innocent bystanders, but the important part is that you tried to be an upstanding citizen. The controls can feel a bit clunky or stiff at times. They aren't perfect by any means, but perfectly usable. Another issue I had with them is that the cars feel like they're being driven on wet butter. The slightest turn will make you slide right into the nearest tree or pedestrian. It takes some time getting used to the controls as they just aren't as smooth or polished as I'd like them to be, but they aren't bad enough for it to stop me from playing the game. The campaign is way better than GTA 5 at least, and as the only other Grand Theft Auto I've played, I'll just compare San Andreas to it. I love it when my games aren't 90% boring setups that you spend an hour getting through just to get to a good bit. Sure, San Andreas is still mostly made up of the standard GTA drive around and blow stuff up formula, but at least I don't have to drive across the map 3 times and collect random items before I get to blow things up. By far the best part of the game is the cheats. These are fucking great. I've spent more time fucking around with flying fire trucks and launching NPCs with the super punch than I have actually progressing the story. Why would I actually play through the game when I can have just as much fun taking on every cop in the city using an infinite ammo rocket launcher? Honestly, it sucks that fun cheats like these just aren't in modern games. GTA 5 would actually be fun if they put them in. Hell, I'd even advocate for putting some of them in GTA Online as long as you're playing in a private lobby. I should be able to fight the lads in flying tanks. To be honest, back when I first played San Andreas, I never actually progressed more than a few hours into the game because it was just more fun turning on cheats and fucking around for a few hours. Not only are the campaign missions in San Andreas better than the ones in GTA 5, the story is also leagues better. I actually have a reason to be invested. I actually want to see what happens next. I actually give 2 shits about the characters. CJ is going around killing people, and I actually kinda get why. The main characters are actually likable. Only the villains are massive dicks, and I want them to get shot. It's not like GTA 5 where everyone is a dick and I want them all to die. Well, except Lamar, he was funny. But just think about how many characters in San Andreas people actually like compared to GTA 5. Not a single character in that entire game comes close to competing with CJ or Big Smoke. The thing is, the story itself is actually fairly similar to GTA 5 if you consider the main plot points. Just executed 1,000 times better. Part of that is probably since it's all from CJ's perspective, so the story has more time to play out and isn't having to build up 3 separate crappy storylines. Instead, we just get one good story. Isn't it just crazy how when a story has more time to build things up and flesh everything out, it ends up being way better? Also, San Andreas has spawned more memes than I have Wii U's stored in my garage, so at least 6. I rate video game stories based on how many memes it created, which means San Andreas gets a solid 10 out of 10.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
San Andreas has shitloads of content. Hell, half the cars in GTA 5, and even some of those added to GTA Online, are just cars that were in San Andreas. There's plenty of things to do, plenty of cars to drive, weapons to destroy stuff with, and side content to mess around with when you get bored. I mean, sure, there might not be as much stuff as there is in a brand new game, but you gotta remember, San Andreas came out in 2004, so I'm willing to cut it some slack. Again, there's more stuff to do here than in most modern games. Refer back to the earlier part of the video where I say, and I quote, "To be honest, Back when I first played San Andreas, I never actually progressed more than a few hours into the game. Yes, I just quoted myself. Call it laziness if you want, but I call it efficiency. If reusing old content is good enough for Rockstar, it's good enough for me. There's also plenty of side content to do like races, challenges, and even burglary. So once you beat the game, there's still stuff to do to keep you busy in between police chases. Or once again, never finish the game and just do all of the side missions. It's up to you. I think this is the first game I've talked about where I'm gonna complain about the music. I'm fucking sick of listening to the same 3 songs play on an endless loop every time I get into a car. I mean, it's pretty immersive, since the radio in real life is just as shit. But when is the game going to be updated so I can plug in my phone and use Spotify instead? Luckily, Rockstar was smart enough to let me turn off the radio separately to the rest of the music. Since the soundtrack is mostly just actual songs, not original ones made for the game, it's fine I guess, just incredibly disappointing. More original music would have been nice because as far as I could find, the only original song in the entire game is the main theme. Which fucking sucks because it's really good. If they had a few more original songs throughout the game with similar vibes, I would have been happy, but no, we just got a bunch of licensed songs, which means I can't even use any of them in this video without being shot by someone from the YouTube copyright department. I'll admit, GTA 5 is a better game than San Andreas, but San Andreas is actually fun. For all of its flaws, it is an incredibly fun game, one that I'm always down to come back to. GTA San Andreas is almost better treated as a sandbox game with an optional story to play through that just also happens to be really fucking good. And if you look at it like that, it is one of the Xbox and PS2's best games.